Welcome to season 2 of Get Real with Jack and Cindy. Last year we had 33 episodes, and we're excited for 2025. How are you, Jack?
I'm really good, really good. Really good to be here. Good to be back. We had every intention of coming back a little bit earlier, but you know that saying.
And then this happened.
Yeah, what is it? We make plans and God laughs. So
yeah.
He laughed a lot between me having the flu and you having shoulder surgery. It's so hard to say.
Oh yeah, I just started saying rotator cuff surgery. Yeah,
wow.
just
shoulder surgery. I'm gonna use that with my kids, and there's a tongue twister.
Yeah,
shoulder surgery.
But we are both upright again.
We are. I may have a few hacking moments, and I apologize in advance for that. But one of the things that we really wanted to do this year was focus on sort of the whole home and everything about what your home means to you, and how that benefits you with your finances, with your health, with all of those kind of things that are important. You know, we were talking about your surgery, and I talked briefly a few episodes back about having gone through a program, which I'm still going through, but I've been now taken off of all my diabetic medication just through changing my diet
huge.
And using this app and really monitoring what's actually happening in my own body. So it just seemed like a really interesting, and also one of the other secrets is that I started using a different kind of cookware that is pretty amazing, and the guy that I bought it from is sitting to my right, Mr. David Zimmer with Saladmaster. Yes. So thank you for being here, Dave.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And by the way, the most beautiful blue eyes. If you were listening to us, you were missing out on the mesmerizing blue eyes.
Mine are
just
green.
saying.
Oh, his. Okay, got it.
There you go.
Okay, got it.
And mine are brown, so I clearly wasn't talking about mine either.
No, but it's just kind of an amazing thing. I've lost 24 pounds. My body fat is down. All of my cholesterol, my good cholesterol is higher than it's ever been. My blood glucose is still on the higher zone for most humans, but for me, it's really in control. So, you know, diet and exercise, and, you know, also, they're not going to be real popular, but I pretty much quit drinking. That was something I sort of had to do. Yeah. But I mean, like, you know, you have to look at your own body and make decisions. You know, it doesn't mean I can't ever have a drink. But for the most part, it doesn't serve me well anymore. So,
well, and I think if you're younger listening to this, when I was in my 20s and probably in my 30s too, you just kind of feel like you can do whatever you want.
And you kind of can. And
that's
the bad
part. You
part.
kind of can, but you may be leading yourself down a path that may be very hard to reverse in the future. But also, as you get older, as you get into your 40s, 50s, and beyond, health really is important, because it doesn't matter how much money you have.
It is the new wealth. Health is the new wealth. It is. I 100% believe that, because what's the point of having a dime if you can't go anywhere? You can't spend it. All you got to do is spend it on medication or on health, and you feel horrible. That is no life. I think that's so important. The thing about the 30s and 40s too is the 20s, 30s, 40s, is that it seemed like for a long time you would see these people that were doing these awful behaviors and it wasn't showing up. But now that I'm in my 50s, I'm looking at them and going, oh my God, you're old people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they're younger than me. And but they now are having all these issues and ailments, and it's never too late, but it can be a lot more difficult to reverse that at that point.
So if you're listening and you're younger, please listen. Please take this under advisement. Start some of these changes
or raising
now.
Children.
Yes.
And feeding them.
Yes. Thinking about these things now instead of in your late 40s, 50s, 60s and thinking, oh, expletive, you know, I really should have been thinking about this, or how can I change? Now I have all these ingrained habits. So anyway, just no matter your age, some of us who are older are, got our ears perked and very excited. Some of you who are younger need to be excited about this as well, if you are not already.
Yeah. And I will say, we're talking about investment, and your home is the most important investment most people make. It's certainly financially, to me is the most important investment you make personally. It's where you bring your babies home. It's where you celebrate life. It's where you celebrate and people's lives that are no longer here. I mean, that it's such an important thing. And so one of the things that, like investing in Saladmaster, it is different than going out and just buying cookware from a store. It is a little bit of an investment because it is high quality and there's a reason why. So
tell us what Saladmaster
let me,
is.
let me talk about some things that have been said.
Oh,
here.
Jay wants to talk.
Oh, look who's
Whatever.
taking over.
Our
No,
guest
no.
wants to say something. Whatever.
No, but Jack said something very important is, to me, diets work
Mhm.
while you're on the diet. But when you get off the diet, you go back to those habits.
Right.
It's like Jack said, it's a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
The quicker we do it, the quicker we make those changes, or at the younger ages, the better off we are.
Mhm.
The easier it is. Okay. You said, well, both you guys said it. In my opinion, your health is either going to be an investment or it's going to be an expense at the end. In doctors, hospitals, medications, all of that.
Say that one more time. I love
Uh-huh.
that.
Yes, your health will either be an investment now or it will be an expense later.
That's
Okay.
good.
So basically what we do at Saladmaster is teach people. I mean, we educate people not just on cookware, but also how to properly prepare the food so that you're keeping the nutrients in, so that the nutrients that your body needs to heal correctly,
Mhm.
fast, quickly, and whatever. And I mean, you're a prime example with your monitor and your app. I've watched Jack in this whole process go from having to be on medication to, no, I'm not on medication.
Mhm.
And all he's done is really monitor what he's intaking and how his body reacts to it on an app. I can't do this, I can do that, this is okay, that's not okay.
And I don't want to beat up on Big Pharma. I mean, they do a lot of great research. However, they want you to stay on their medicines.
The
so if
reason
you
why
can
this
get off of
program
them.
is available to me, I'm sure, is because they spent about $2,000 in equipment for me. But I think that their thinking is they'd rather spend $2,000 up front once than to spend $2,000 a month for me to take a shot
Mhm.
that's going to do the same thing until I go off of it.
Right.
Because that's the one thing they don't really talk about enough is that the shot that is a miracle and it does a lot of great things, and I believe in it for a lot of people. 'Cause
And
I
are you
think a
talking
lot of
about like
people-
Ozempic? and-
Wegovy, all those. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And they're finding that it has a lot of really good things for your heart, for all, if you have this, if it's something you need and you are unable or unwilling to make the changes, because it's not easy to
Again,
I
when you've
don't
been
eat
doing the
sugar,
same
I
thing for
don't-
50 years.
yeah,
you
and
know?
I'm
hard to
okay
change
with
that.
it. I
Mhm.
enjoy making those changes because I want to have that control and I don't want it. I have to take other medication. I don't want another one if I can avoid it. So for me, it's a little different, and I'm not. And whatever it takes people to get to health is where I'm okay with it. But the thing about it is that like you said, the expense or the investment they're making in me is by putting me in glucose monitor, a body weight scale, and advisors that I talk to often. That's their investment, so they don't have the expense of my health care,
Now, who is they?
my health insurance company.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's being
that's
paid
impressive.
for completely by my insurance company.
Okay.
And so it's a newer program. I don't know it's available to everyone, but it's rolling it out. And it's again their response, which for once I really kind of agree with this. They're trying to fight having to pay for those ongoing expensive medications by helping people learn to take control of it themselves.
Right.
So it's been very powerful, and I'm happy to talk to anybody about it because
You should do a whole podcast.
yeah,
Seriously.
Yeah.
because it's
Because
it's a
we've alluded
miracle.
to it
But
in
you're
several
talking- let's
podcasts
go
last
back,
year.
Just put a little Saladmaster in this.
Yeah,
It is an investment, but our biggest fans are our clients, our customers. I mean,
Mhm.
I'll use an example. Yeah, 2 days ago, I was talking with a couple that have been married 58 years. He bought her a set of Saladmaster for their wedding.
Oh.
They're still using it today. Their kids are lined up to fight over it when they pass. Okay? But I sat literally and listened to them for at least an hour. Just let them tell stories about salad. The people that have Saladmaster and have had it for any amount of time, even Jack is one of our poster children. Okay? I don't even need to
I
be
am,
here.
truly, I am.
He can
Yeah.
just
I
let you
love
know
it.
about it. But yeah, so it is an investment, but it's also You know, I always tell people it's not like you're investing in a boat that's going to sit in your driveway 9 months out of the year. This is something you're going to use every day for the rest of your life.
And it can be a little intimidating at first because it is a little different in how you cook. So I want to put that out there. It's, you know, it took me a while to really figure, you know, you have to kind of experiment with it and try different things because it is a different type of technology. So explain just a little bit. I mean, one of the things I
will
really
touch on that. So you guys that have trouble asking for directions, just call. If you're having trouble, just call.
Yeah, and I did. I did. But I
The
just
rest of y'all can struggle all you want.
I just mean, you know, there's a reason why Teflon, the T word, there's a reason why Teflon has become so big because people don't have to, they can take a paper towel and wipe it out and they're done with it. You know, the problem is that you're also ingesting Teflon over time.
And I'm going to find it was a docudrama over the whole Teflon scandal. I'm going to look that up while you're talking about it. The Devil We Know.
Yes.
I mean, because I grew up in a time where you always got Teflon pans, and literally I watched that and I went through and threw out a bunch of things that I had in my kitchen because that was the Devil We Know. It's a game changer.
So when I was introduced to Saladmaster, I had a complete set of Calphalon nonstick.
Mm-hmm.
That night I did the same thing. I opened my cupboards, I took every bit of it out, and I threw it in the garage. And I waited.
What was it whenever
You don't even want to put it in a garage sale. You just want to put it directly into the trash.
best though was when he did a dinner for my friend Kristen and then she invested it, but then she was here for 2 weeks for camp and we go to a restaurant and she kept asking, do you cook in Teflon? I don't want anything against and she was like, I'm becoming problematic. I can't eat. And the good news is a lot of the restaurants use stainless steel, so we were saved a few times.
I have a few videos of her in tears when she was here. You guys went to eat. She's like, Dave, I can't eat anything.
Yeah, but it makes you so aware of that, you know, and it's not just, I mean, it's just the stainless, the titanium. Explain what the titanium is and why that's so important.
So the titanium, it's 316 titanium, is basically a barrier that blocks any of the metals, toxins, the chemicals from transferring onto the food. Okay. But again, it's also not just that. It's also I think everybody, like you guys are talking about, everybody deep down wants to eat healthy. They want to eat healthy. It's not that they're ignorant. It's for lack of knowledge. Okay. So you could have food inconvenience, but you could have food flown in from Spain if you wanted to. You could get grass-fed, grass-finished meat, beef. You could do whatever. When you bring it home, if it's not prepared correctly,
you're doing yourself a disservice.
Right. You're spending a lot of money for nothing.
Well, you can take a stalk of celery and cook it in 2 pounds of butter, and it's not going to be healthy just because it's celery.
Yeah.
But basically, what's happening is a lot of people they're doing things with their food that they've been taught to do. It's not necessarily the best thing. Peeling the food, cooking in water, cooking at high temperatures. So they're basically destroying the food or the nutrients.
Okay, let's go one by one through what you just said.
Yes.
Peeling.
Okay. So vegetables that grow in the ground, potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots. Okay. If you cut a slice of potato, hold it up to the light, you'll see a ring around the outside.
Right.
That's where the majority of the nutrients are. When you peel a potato, you don't get just the peel. You start getting into the actual meat of the potato. Ring. Okay. So by the time we peeled it, we lost a lot of the nutrients. Okay. Jack and I were having a conversation. The next step is cooking in water. We've all been taught cook in water, right? What happens to salt? If I take salt, I put it in a pan, I add water, and I boil it.
The salt goes away.
It dissolves. It's the same.
It doesn't go away. It stays in the water.
But it dissolves, right? Okay, but that's the same thing that
it's like
happens
the
to
pasta.
The vitamins and the minerals.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do with that water after you've cooked your broccoli or your carrots or your whatever?
You throw it out.
That goes down the drain. So if your garbage disposal actually was a member of the family, it would be the healthiest, okay? Because it's getting all the vitamins and the minerals. So that's the other thing. The other thing is
that's fascinating. I really think that's fascinating because you hear the waterless thing and it's kind of like, okay, but it really does make sense. And you know, it's just like it's taking out what you're really trying to preserve. Yeah.
So you're talking about more like an air fryer or a steamer.
So this is so
like
when people see the Saladmaster dinner, a lot of people say, is it like a pressure cooker? It's like a pressure cooker, but it's the exact opposite.
Low
So,
pressure.
yeah, so pressure cookers cook in water.
Mhm.
We don't cook in any water. They cook at high temperatures. We're cooking at low temperatures. They cook with lots of pressure. We're cooking with no pressure.
Okay.
And it has a little
vapor
vapor
valve,
valve.
yeah. So
Okay.
that allows you, it tells you when the temperature is where it needs to be, and then you turn it down to low. So
Okay.
we keep the nutrients in the food.
And you cook at a lower temperature.
Right.
And that's the thing you start at medium and you click to low. It's like and I think that's what took me
And
a
I'm so
while
used to
to
cooking
get.
everything at high.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, and that's what took me a long time because what I was thinking was medium was actually high, and I was burning stuff. I had to take the meat because it's like, and the vegetables that come out look like raw vegetables
And taste like
and
raw
taste like
vegetables.
raw vegetables, but they're really delicious without even seasoning because there's so much of the food still in the vegetable. It's crazy. I mean, it really is. Like your carrots look bright orange, your broccoli looks bright green, but it's ready to eat.
You know, and the thing to me that I really like about what we do is that not only, again, it's not just the cookware, it's teaching the people and showing them and the reactions when they taste the food. You know, I don't eat, you know, people all the time when I do the dinners, I don't like peas. You don't have to like peas, just try them. I have a 5 pea minimum, okay? When I'm done, just take 5 peas and try them. I love peas now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
but it's, yeah, so when it's cooked correctly, again, like he's saying, the vitamins and the minerals are what creates the taste. Okay? If I open up a can of canned peas, what color are they?
Green.
They're gray. Kind of a light.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Okay?
Yeah.
If I have fresh peas, what color are they?
Green.
Why are these gray? They've been cooked in water, high temperatures.
Huh.
And frozen vegetables actually have more nutrients most of the time than
So yeah, if you'll
at the
remember
grocery
that,
store because they immediately freeze them and they hold
Yeah.
all of their
so you're going to get
vitamins
the
and minerals.
most vitamins and minerals on fresh fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Next is going to be frozen because, like Jack said, they're flash frozen
Mm-hmm.
when they're picked, so
Mhm.
they have the majority of the vitamins and the minerals. The least amount is canned goods because, again, they're cooked in water, high temperatures.
When I was in Oklahoma City TV, we did a story on are the seals at the zoo eating better seafood than you are? So we actually took what the seals were eating, and then we went to a fish store in Oklahoma City and bought the same thing. And there was a tremendous difference that the seals were eating better because they were, fishing, getting these things, flash freezing them, and then they would stay frozen until they were ready to feed them to the seals.
Correct.
As opposed to our fish that, it might have been 5 to 7 days old by the time it actually, was transported to the middle of the United States.
Someone was telling me the other day, and I don't remember who it was, that all seafood is frozen on the boat
Oh, interesting.
because they stay out there for quite a while, so they freeze it.
But they put it on ice.
Then they
yeah.
put it on ice, and then whenever they come back in, then they thaw it out, and then it gets so like everyone says, oh, it was never frozen. That isn't true. It was almost always frozen. The problem is it was frozen, thawed, and then
refrozen.
Mhm.
yeah.
But actually, yeah, the seals were eating better
That's
than
so
we were.
interesting.
Isn't that amazing?
that
Yeah.
is great.
There's a lot of interesting facts about food that I've learned through Saladmaster.
Yeah, but I mean, it is true
Yeah,
though, too. And like the thing that I like is that like the low temperature, you wouldn't think about that. That it makes perfect sense. You don't want to damage the thing you're trying. You're trying to eat vegetables so you can get more minerals. It's so the one thing that's so interesting is, I'm having to focus on macros, and I have to get a lot more protein. And I thought I ate a lot of protein, but I have to eat a whole lot more protein than I thought I needed to eat because of the way that my body processes glucose. And so anytime I get anything other than protein, I need to make it really count with the micronutrients, which is what's in fruits, vegetables. And I have to be careful which ones I eat too, a little bit, because of how much the glucose affects me personally. So with all this, it's so important that I get the most vitamins I can out of, and it allows me to volume eat because I can eat a lot of broccoli, I can eat a lot of carrots because they are low in calories, high in volume and fiber.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a way of making you feel like you're eating a whole lot, but you got to keep your calories lower. So that's one thing I really love about the fruit or the vegetables that I do with Saladmaster. I just feel like I can eat a whole lot more, and it tastes so good.
So when you think of Saladmaster, so when Jack very, very, very first brought this up to me, I'm thinking like a lot of mixing bowls, like salad.
Yeah.
So take us in depth into actually what all is available through Saladmaster.
Everything from a 1-quart saucepan to a 16-quart roaster,
Okay.
including we have a bakeware set, we have cutlery set, we have everything.
Okay.
Utensils. I mean,
The best is a food processor.
Yeah. Saladmaster food processor.
Put the stuff through and it slices and dices and grates. It is so great.
Yeah, we should have brought one.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
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 But
I keep mine
so
out on
it's
my
a-
counter
it's-
just
it's
to
a
make
complete-
salads
You know,
all the
we
time.
have different sets, different size family, different families wants, needs, and whatnot.
And it's not just vegetables. We're talking
No.
about vegetables, but it's
Because that's what you,
amazing for
that's
me.
what I was saying.
Yeah,
like,
no,
you
it's-
think Salad Master, but it's so much more than that.
Yeah, and people have that misconception too. And one of the reasons for that, the cutter that Jack's talking about, is our company actually started with that. It was a salad food processor.
Ah.
And then it just evolved into what it is today. They've kept that piece, they've kept the name, and it's just, but yeah. So a lot of people are misconceived. Oh, you're a salad place. Oh, you make salads. Well, yeah, we make salads, but we make everything else too. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So yeah.
But it is cool because the focus is, you know, in this, the salad is a healthy. I think the connotation of health does it once you know what it is. I think it is a little.
Didn't
bit
we
of a
make it
misnomer.
unhealthy by putting the blue cheese on it and all the other
The good
big
stuff.
things?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
We
that's
think
the
of
other
good
thing. I
stuff.
mean, and Jack's tasted had the salad before. I mean, we make a salad that has no dressing. It
Oh,
tastes like it
so
has
good.
dressing, and you don't have to put anything in it.
Really?
Yeah. So
It's amazing how
I'm a
good
dressing
food
girl,
tastes
so-
when you
But it's
just
like-
allow the food to be what it really is
Yeah,
supposed
and
to
it's
be.
like he said it a minute ago. Is you use the example celery.
Mhm.
If you cook celery in a pound of butter, that ain't good for you.
Right.
So again, the thing I enjoy, and I kind of reiterate this, is when I'm in front of clients that want to eat, they think they're eating healthy,
Mhm.
but then you show them, and then the light bulb goes off, and they go, "Oh my gosh," you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
cookware's an aspect of it, but to me, it's a lot of the education and the,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I have a really good friend that says, "Hey, I need some stuff. I just want to write you a check." I said, "No, I won't let you do that." I said, "If you're going to invest in Saladmaster, you're going to sit through this, and you're
Mhm.
going to see the benefits of it."
So what kind of things do you teach? Give us an example of that.
Again, like we'll use the salad for example. You put it. It's got red cabbage, green cabbage, carrot, zucchini.
And you go.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot, but how fast can we?
I mean, it's like
can
boom, boom, boom,
make
boom. Here's a big salad. It's
And
pretty
you,
cool.
and you add a sweet apple, and then you put lemon juice in it, and those two combined kind of make its own dressing.
No,
So-
I add a little bit of vinegar
Yeah, and you can add whatever that
because
you
I want a little bit of that.
But I've had
Yeah,
people
little
tell
tart,
me,
yeah.
I've had people tell me, "Oh, Dave, I watched you make that salad. I don't like anything you put in there. I love that salad. It's fantastic." You know,
And
what I'm
talking
saying?
about healthy.
So,
man.
you know, what different again. So that different ways, little tips to do things a little bit different. And I always encourage people.
And again, volume eating because that's a lot of volume and a low calorie
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. But I always encourage people, make small changes. Don't try to completely reinvent what you're doing, because what's going to happen is you'll get frustrated and you're going to go right back to what you were doing before. Just make a little change here, make a little change there. So, you know, just little things like the salad, no dressing. We're not going to cook with water. We're not going to peel our vegetables. We're going to cook at low temperatures. We're going to keep, our focus is now going to be keeping the nutrients in the food. You know, you might have been buying the correct food, but now we need to focus on preparing it the right way so that we have the nutrients that our body wants and needs.
Or not throwing it all away because it just sat in your refrigerator because you knew you were supposed to buy that, but then you didn't know how to really prepare it, and it just ends up throwing. That's what I kept doing. I kept buying all these vegetables and they'd go in the trash because I wouldn't get to them. Have you seen the thing where you do like a salad bar in your refrigerator drawer?
No,
It's so brilliant.
that's cool.
So, but what's great, like with the cutter, you could do that so easily. But it's like people are doing like plastic bins or glass bins in that drawer. And then when you go to make your salad, you've got like the sliced red pepper, you've got the
Oh, you
cucumber
just put 'em
slice,
all
and you
in
just
there.
do it like you're at a salad bar, but it's in your freezer drawer
In your freezer
or in
drawer.
your
Oh, okay.
refrigerator drawer, your
Okay.
crisper. But
Yeah.
what a great idea for
That's a great
families,
idea.
like just to make salad fun. I mean,
Yeah.
but
Well, we love Sunday prep.
Mhm.
So
Oh, it's
are
great
there a
for
lot of
that.
things you can do?
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes on Sunday, we'll be talking on the phone. What are you doing? I'm prepping. I'm food prepping. I'm
Mhm.
cooking X amount of chicken, or I'm doing this or the other. The other thing, and we were talking about this before we started, huge misconception is people think that it's expensive to eat healthy. We've made it so easy to
Oh,
eat.
this is weird.
This is an example. Now, again, we're sitting here talking about health and nutrition, Saladmaster, and all of that. This is an example. This was a true story. Here, if I'm going to preface this with, if you'll eat right 80% of the time, you'll be fine. Okay. So Jack and I were
90.
following. Jack and I were following somebody on.
Well, let's just start with saying I have to eat pretty much keto, paleo because of right. So it's pretty much
Right.
high protein, low carb. So
And then I recently found out that I have a reaction to gluten. So I've gone now down this new path of no gluten. So we're following this person online, and it says you can go to Raising Cane's and get the naked chicken. Is that what it is? 6-piece. It's 78 grams of protein. And we both were kind of like 17 grams of protein. Oh my gosh.
Chicken fingers?
Chicken fingers.
We're in.
And so he goes, I think he was here and I was working or whatever. And I called him, I go, guess what I'm going to do? And he goes, what? And I go, I'm getting ready to go to Raising Cane. He goes, oh my God. He goes, I was doing the same thing. So he goes, we'll convene in a minute. So, but $18.
$18.
Mine, I was by myself. It was $18.
I still can't believe I did it because I'm cheap.
Yeah.
I did it.
And it wasn't good. There was no seasoning. It was just like they took the chicken, fried it. Here you go.
And it was deep fried, raw chicken. And then it had like a weird kind of hard.
It was weird.
I mean,
But anyway, so the next day, I'm shopping to do.
I still don't
Saladmaster
believe it's
dinners.
72 grams of protein. I'm sorry, I don't believe that.
I don't believe anything that guy said. Everything we tried sucked. Call me, I'll give you his name. But the next day, I go to the store to buy the food for some Saladmaster presentations. I was telling him I got 16 chicken thighs for less than what I paid for one meal at Raising Cane's. That was horrible. It was horrible. No taste. Probably zero, I'm sure. Well, the chicken had some nutrients, I'm sure, but the rest of it, there was nothing. So,
and like I've been doing, like I'll take chicken. You can do a chicken breast, or you can do whatever, and then just putting a jar of like a good salsa, and then just letting that cook, and then shredding it, and then having that for the week to eat off of. I mean, there's so many ways to. You have to make it. The one thing I've had to really make sure I have is a lot of protein sources that are easy. Greek yogurt, or anything that I don't have to think too much, and I can prepare meals. I like the bag salads. I know it's probably not the thing it would be better to do, like cut your own salad, but for me, the convenience of it as a single person, that really works because I can just 2 or 3 times in one bag, and I've got my salad for 2 or 3 meals plus my protein. So it's like finding ways that work for you or for your family. But the thing about Saladmaster that I really like too is, for example, there's one of the things that you get in the package that I did, and it has a basket that sits in, and you put water in the bottom, and then you do your ground beef. So I buy 85 or 90% ground beef, and then it actually cooks it, and the grease drops down into the water, and then I don't have that. It's like
you don't have to do this.
Yeah, it's really great. And then I've started doing it even with my ground turkey, and then I use that. I just have that to throw into a bunch of different things. So I think it's really good for meal prep. I think it's because I think that's where we are kind of, and I don't meal prep. I can't eat the same. I can eat soup. Oh my God! When I had the flu, it was so bad, and Dave was so kind, and he made me a huge thing of chicken soup and left it for me in my garage because I ain't going.
Yeah.
But it is all I ate for 5 days was a couple of bowls of soup every day because that's all I could. And I also lost 7 pounds, to be honest. But it was so good. But it was also like I think that all the way that it was cooked with so many nutrients and the broth and all. I mean, it really helped.
That, I mean, it was a huge.
It's huge.
It was about a piece about this big.
And I ate every.
And my intention was I had a Saladmaster show that evening, and I had something going on during the day, and I told him, I said, well, I'm going to get this done, and then I'm going to make this, and then I'll run it over to you, so you don't have to worry about making anything. And I came home from the gym and I'm like, I'm just gonna knock this out. And literally, this massive bowl of, or
Huge.
pot of soup that I made him, it
I
took me,
love good chicken
it took
noodles.
me literally
It's good.
10 minutes.
Really?
10 minutes. And I just threw it together, and as it's on the cooktop, I was doing my work stuff and whatever, and then I called him and said, hey, I'm on my way.
And I literally lived on it for 5 days. I mean, that's what's kind of amazing. And it was really, I don't know what your seasoning is. I know it's that one that you just can't say.
Yeah.
Oh, now I want to know.
We'll tell you off camera.
Inquiring
It's-
minds want to know.
It's a little off color, but no, I think that's really one of the things I really love about it is that I can cook in somewhat volume, and then use it throughout. But I mean, every morning I get up and make eggs, and I do scrambled eggs in mine, and I mean, I really.
And I'm gonna step in here, but the other really nice thing about Saladmaster is normally when you cook, nobody wants to cook because they're standing there.
Right.
You're pot washing, you're
Oh.
stirring, you're doing all of that. I'm stuck right here. The Saladmaster system, it's medium, click, low. So you put your food in, you put it on medium, you can go watch TV, you can check your emails, you can do whatever. You're listening for the click, you come in, turn it down to low, go back and finish what you're doing. So again, it allows you, so when I made the soup for him, it was again, I cut the stuff with the Saladmaster cutter, I cooked the chicken, I put it in there, and as it was cooking, I'm off doing what I need to do. When it was time for me to leave, I called him and said, hey, I'm coming, and I grabbed it, put it in my car, and I'm off.
If I'm being
So
honest, I walked out of my garage. I was like, really? I'm gonna eat that much soup? I mean, it was so big, but
And
boy,
you
I
ate it.
did. I
Yeah.
did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've changed over for in 2025, so I'm going through and I'm reorganizing everything, which I know we're going to talk about that in the upcoming series. Not my organization, but how to organize. But one of the things that I did was I moved all of my plasticware, storage, into a lower thing. So if somebody wants to take something home, I can put it in there and
Yeah.
send it
Go
with them.
away.
I've moved over to the glass containers to store my food, to reheat it. Just one little change that I was like, yeah, I want to make sure that I'm not ingesting
You know
all
what
those
I'm
plastics either.
Ball jars.
Wait,
Just
say
good
that
old
again.
fashioned ball jars,
Oh.
like mason jars.
Mason jar. Okay,
It's
interesting.
Awesome.
And you can do salad prep in there
yes,
and all
and then
kinds
it
of stuff.
screws on, and you can even put like dressing in the bottom, and then layer a salad and take it and shake it. I mean, it's
You also talked about, Jack, one time we were having a discussion about cutting boards.
Mhm.
It's another
Mm.
easy one that you could make a small change.
What cutting board do you suggest?
not plastic
Not
because you're getting microplastics every time. It makes so much sense. Think about it. When you cut, what does your plastic cutting board look like? It's got grooves. Where would that plastic go?
And for years, it was like, don't use wood.
They just
because
did an
of your
autopsy of
chicken
people.
or whatever.
They
Now
did
it's
autopsies of people, and they just found a spoonful of microplastics in all of their brains.
ew.
Yeah, in their brain, which the blood barrier shouldn't even be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's not a coincidence that there's so many people getting dementia and Alzheimer's. I mean, I think we have to be really,
So
You
I
know,
should just use my granite countertop, stick it on.
or wood.
Or
Yeah,
wood,
yeah.
yeah.
It's but the other thing too is,
We have a wood one too.
yeah, the
Oh,
wood
okay,
one.
good,
Salad
good,
is
good, good. All right.
But I mean, those kind of things are really those small changes. You know, that's the one thing too. Like I really look back at what I've done over the last 6 months, and I had to do a few things. I had to master a few things before I could do all of it. Like
Mhm.
I didn't just completely quit drinking at first. I would be like, maybe I'll try. But then when I started seeing, and the interesting thing about drinking is that the alcohol isn't. I always thought it was the sugar and the alcohol, but it's actually that when you have alcohol in your system stops processing everything else until it burns the alcohol off completely, and then it goes back to. So you're just constantly, your body's just completely shutting down, focusing on the alcohol. So people that constantly drink, their bodies are just in constant trying to get the alcohol out of their system.
Huh.
And so they're not processing vitamins, minerals, protein. It's crazy.
You know, and another thing that's interesting in watching Jack do his thing that he's been going through is, and people ask me all the time, Dave, where do you work out? How much do you work out? What do you eat? What do you this? And I go, well, it doesn't matter what I do, because it might not, what works for me might not work for you.
Mhm.
One of the examples he used was, you know, when you're don't eat potatoes, eat sweet potatoes, right? If you're diabetic or almost.
That's what I was always taught.
You eat, well, what happened when you ate sweet potatoes?
It was as if I had a cinnamon roll. Sweet potatoes just
So I
make
think it's
my
in-
blood
yeah.
sugar go, because Other people, it doesn't. But knowing my body
you, it
now,
did.
I can't do sweet
So I
potato.
think it's important that you figure out what works for you.
Mhm.
And not just because someone online says eat sweet potatoes might not be the best thing for you.
And we're all made uniquely. I
Yes,
mean, we come
right.
from, different ethnic backgrounds. You start looking at all the DNA parts that come together to make your chromosomes. I mean, none of us are alike unless you have a twin.
I saw a great thing on Facebook or on one
Identical
of us
twin.
today, and it was a guy that was showing an influencer that was 23 years old and a swimmer body, and he was saying, do this, and the guy came back and he said, have you ever heard like people say, you know what, I'm not real thick, I'm not going to be like a rugby or a football player, look, I'm not real skinny, I'm not going to be like a runner, look, I'm going to be like a swimmer, I want to do a swimmer. He goes, and then they go start swimming, and they swim for 6 months and go, I don't look like those swimmers. He goes, the swimmers don't have the bodies because they swim. They swim because they have those bodies. Rugby players are big, and that's why it works for them to play rugby. Like, we all are built differently.
Yes.
We can take it to an extreme. I mean, I think we can also blame, like, I think one thing Ozempic has shown us is a lot of people that thought they had certain issues, it was that they were overeating, because Ozempic stops the food noise.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what stops people from consuming too much. I mean, I think it's just such an interesting era right now. We're
Yeah.
learning so much.
I saw an interesting sign at the gym the other day that said, everybody wants 6-pack abs, and the sign was abs aren't made in the gym, they're made in the kitchen. That's what
They're rude.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Made
not
in the
just-
kitchen, revealed in the gym.
Well, and how
Not
many-
just abs, but I mean other
Everything.
muscles
And how many times do you have a friend that works out all the time or runs marathons and they're not super skinny? I mean, clearly something's not.
Or they drop dead.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, like, it's like,
We've had 2 friends that's happened to.
yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
no guarantee. And I think that that's where you get into, I'm more concerned about if you're putting in your body what you should be putting in your body and consuming and trying to be, cutting out seed oils as much as possible, processed foods as much as possible, getting rid of that. That's what's really going to make a difference. I really do believe it. And I think your body will naturally, you have to fuel your body appropriately. And it doesn't mean spending a whole lot more money. You can, but you don't have to. You just have to. The other thing too is I spent eating out on junk and alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, the money that I save on those things gives me the money to do other things. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I think you have to shift your priorities and say, do I really need 2 $15 martinis on top of my dinner, or can I do without that?
Yeah,
you
for the
know?
2 weeks after my surgery, Todd's like, damn, you're a cheap date. Like, yeah, well, oops.
But I think it's really important, and I'm so glad that you've come and talked to us like about all this, because I think we're all so scared in some ways anymore of even eating. I think that we've become a culture of fear. Like, you should fear fat, you should fear sodium, you should fear all those things. I think that's a mistake. I think you have to look at as food as our friend,
Mhm.
but there are certain foods that we shouldn't be too friendly with. Like, maybe occasionally I'm going to join that. Like, if I'm in Mexico, I'm probably going to have a tequila.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I have to have a whole day of tequila. I can have, 1 or 2. So I think
Yeah.
1 or 2 days.
1 or 2 days.
But Jack touched on something about the oils too. That's the other thing with Saladmaster. You can cook with absolutely no oils.
Really?
Crazy, but
In the dinner that we do, we fry chicken with no oil. What does that chicken taste like?
delicious.
It's fried chicken.
So can
So-
you do a salad master party? Like, invite your friends?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So and it's the other. It's a
Okay.
unique concept because
How would someone go about booking that?
contact me.
And how would they do that?
They can text me. They can call me. They can run.
Let's give your phone number out. Now, again, I'm going to mention the blue eyes, but go ahead. Go ahead and give your phone number.
918-734-4244. But it's a unique concept.
And there's no commitment.
No, absolutely not. It's a unique concept because it's in their home, around their schedule, in the comfort of their home.
Okay.
There's no gimmicks, there's no catches, there's no nothing.
Here's the other great part. If you have a dinner, guess what you get?
You get credit.
A cutter.
You get a cutter.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Am I supposed to say that?
You can say that all Look right in the camera and say that.
You get a cutter. So,
Say it
yeah,
again.
if
Say
you
it
host
again.
the dinner, you have a cutter. I think you have to have a certain
Is that
amount
the
of
cutter
cup-
that cuts everything out?
Yeah.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, for free. So
Okay, I'm booking a party as soon as
and
we
it's
finish.
and honestly, like everybody I've had has bought because you go. I mean, it's you're investing again, but it's like when you really look at it and you go and buyer's remorse because again I'm cheap. At first I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? Just a little bit, and then within a day or two I was like, this is the best thing I've done. Like I just because I don't even before, this is way before I went through all this stuff. I mean I've been on a quest to eat right for a long time.
Mhm.
A long time. And this was kind of one of the first steps in that process. But I mean, it is so hard to know how to eat right. You
And
read
again,
so many
it's not,
things.
I don't think it's hard. I think it's
Confusing.
people are ignorant. They just don't have the knowledge. And
Yep.
that's, again, not everybody is going to be in a position to invest in Saladmaster. I get that, But again, I've been doing it 10 years. If I leave and you haven't invested anything, I promise you, I've left you with some information that you can make quite a few little changes if you want to.
Unlike some of the crazy
then-
TikToks and
yeah.
Instagram reels.
Yeah.
And we were
so-
talking about that earlier. Like, one of the things you have to really be careful of is it's so easy to get caught up with the influencers and you can learn a lot. I mean, I use it a lot and I learn a lot of really cool things. I'm not saying you can't, but take it all with a grain of salt.
Mhm.
It's like,
And
just
don't get
because
the
somebody
naked
says
chicken.
something is a good thing. Well, I mean, maybe other people really like that, but I'm telling you what, $18 for 6
Yeah.
little pieces of chicken. And then I found those lightly breaded ones, the good food,
Oh.
and they taste great.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you're going to do something, my thing is, if I'm going to do something, I may do it a little bit bad,
Mhm.
but it's going to be really good.
Mhm.
I'm tired of this, this mentality of trying to, it doesn't taste like chicken nuggets when you deep fry raw chicken like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it just doesn't. And it was greasy and
Ew.
yeah.
Blech.
The coleslaw was good though. I didn't even do the French fries. You at least got French fries.
Yeah.
Well, let's give out your phone number one more time before we wrap up.
Okay. 918-734-4244. And I appreciate you guys the opportunity to do that. So-
Absolutely.
And it was not nearly as bad as you thought it was
No,
going to
it
be, right?
wasn't.
Because he was like, I don't know about this.
We made it through.
And if for any
you did
reason
great.
you don't remember Dave's number or can't remember, you can contact either one of us also, and we'll make sure that we connect you with him. So thank you so much for being here. And I think in the future we should do more on some specific things. We've done a real general thing, but I think this is a really important thing, and I think that we're all really trying to figure out how to embrace having control of our health. I think that's such a huge thing, and I think that we have an opportunity in this platform to really help a lot of people and realize that we're all pretty smart people and we're still trying to learn how to do this correctly.
It's a
Mhm.
lot easier when you have the knowledge.
Yeah,
When
absolutely.
you don't have the knowledge, that's when it's confusing and hard and all that. So.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming
All right,
on. We
thank you.
appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.
Everybody,
See you
get
next
real.
week.